Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm in my... Lord have mercy. I'm in my reptile room, and this video is going to be really long because I decided to include finishing the walls and the floors, which are not finished at the time of filming this outro, but they're mostly finished, in this video because I was trying to cut it up, but everything kind of just blended together. And I was like, for the sake of, you know, making it easy for me, I'm putting it all in one video. So it's kind of long. If you're not aware, this wall over here is where I'll be filming. Currently has kind of a bum light, so don't mind the flashing, but this is my filming wall where I'll be sitting in front of. And if you want your name on this wall, then check the description down below, but it's super easy and inexpensive. Only requires $1 if you would like to get your name on that wall, and it'll be on that wall forever. I also recommend that you check the other renovation videos to see where we started, because it did not look this good at the beginning or through much of the process, but now it looks like an actual room. I mean, it definitely still needs like a ceiling and the outlets have to get covered and things like that, but it's like, look at it. It's a proper room, almost. Before we get into today's renovation vlog, I ask you please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and away we go. Welcome back to the reptile room. Today we are finishing this wall. We need drywall, not drywall, we need mud. Obviously it stops. We also need to mud right here. We need to mud, please don't be a spider web. We need to mud this because it's kind of flat. We need to fix it to make it have curves or swoopies. Same thing with right here and right here, and then otherwise we're done. So hopefully after this clip, you'll not have to watch any more. These couple clips, you won't have to see any more mudding. And then once that's done, I have my bucket with water here. We're gonna start wet sanding. So taking away chunks, these little chunky bits you see here, to smooth it out. And this whole entire wall still has to be wet sanded. And then tomorrow, the spots that I just showed you will have to be wet sanded. And then after that, we could start painting. So I should be painting these walls tomorrow, if not today, because once I run out of stuff to do, like wet sanding, then I'll have to start painting. So this is the filming wall. Again, if you would like your name on this wall, look down in the description. But yeah, once I get to finish some wet sanding over there, then I get to start painting. And that'll be exciting. We also have, I must have like rubbed my eye too hard. Whoopsie, we also have this mess to deal with. Yeah, where the old bar was. So Ben will be working on that, I think, namely tomorrow.
What?
The floor. What are you gonna do with the bar? Putting a piece of wood here. We have scrap wood in the closet upstairs for right here. We also bought wood to put before we start painting. The piece of wood has to go here, right over this corner. We bought that already. That's upstairs. We also have some extra corners for you to use here to make these kind of match up a bit. And then this has to get kind of rough sanded, this whole thing, before it can get painted. You ready?
Oh yeah.
We're not ready. We had a terrible night's sleep because of the one you hear barking upstairs. So, but anyways, you ready? Let's get it. So because the old bar was made with these like glass squares that were very heavy and apparently cemented into the ground, we had to break them out. We could have left them if they weren't so uneven and jagged because it was dangerous and it would rip through the floor when we put it down. So Ben had to just hack away at that. Meanwhile, I was wet sanding. And wet sanding is basically where you just take a wet rag and you rub it over the drywall. It just smooths it out. And for me in particular, it was like removing the chunks that came from using the swoop method. So then I started painting, and painting was very fun. I went with the color antique white, which we used upstairs because I wanted it to be cohesive. I absolutely love painting. I've painted Ben's entire house and my parents' entire house and my sister's old kitchen and my other sister's house. I don't know what it is. I love painting, but that's where I got at the end of day one. So it's fine. You can take a video of me sassing you too, if you so choose.
Here we see Jessica in her natural habitat.
Her natural what?
Habitat.
I thought you said habitat.
Habitat. We see Jessica in her natural habitat.
Oh, you mean like cleaning your house?
Disregard the Jessica's insults. They are her natural defense mechanism.
It's not a defense. I'm offensive, not defensive. Let's be clear about that.
That's a
Look at this crusty's falling out. Why am I holding all of this at the same time? Why don't you take some of this?
Jessica, super.
Are you talking? Is this a
dexterous
video? Jessica has a dexterous.
Give me
You say she has good dexterity?
good, yes. Give me the sandpaper.
One of us can speak English.
Well,
And then Ben was like, oh, I'll wipe it down for a little bit. And he was like, it's actually not that gross. And then like 2 seconds later, he was like, actually, it's really gross and I hate it. And I was like, yeah, it hasn't been cleaned ever. So it's pretty nasty. Back at it for another day of basement work. Well, I finished wet sanding this wall. I have to wet sand this wall right here where you can see it's like a bit of a different color. We picked up a different mud. Hopefully it's not gonna be a problem. But I have to wet sand that one. And then there's like a couple spots I have to wet sand that had to get fixed. Like this spot down here. And I also started painting, which you guys saw in the clips. But it doesn't look like I've painted. Like, it's antique white, this is white. So like, by comparison you can tell. But if I were to just show you this wall and then show you those walls, it's like not a huge difference. Plus the reason I chose this color, here's another spot you can tell. Obviously I have to get in there still with a paintbrush. But the reason I chose this color is because I wanted to pull it in from the upstairs to make it more cohesive. And also because this is gonna be painted black. This right here. And there's not a lot I think that can go really well with black. That also would match all the black enclosures, and then I also have to match it to like all the artwork and stuff that I already have, so it was just easier to go with something that was a bit more neutral. So that's where we're at. My hair is a mess because it's wash day, but I certainly wasn't going to wash it before coming down here and getting drywall in it, because the drywall dust is everywhere all the time. It's just, no matter what you do, no matter how many times you vacuum, it's just like, it's always on me. Even in like the videos you can see, it's like on my clothes, it's on my skin. So it's gross. It gets everywhere. I don't love it. It's like Anakin with sand, okay? You don't like it, it gets everywhere. I don't like drywall dust. But yeah, that's where we're at. And I'm gonna have to wet sand, I'm gonna have to paint, and then I also have to paint this up here, which as you can see, I've gone around wood filling scrapes and holes and stuff like that, cleaning it. And we still have to repair this before I can paint the bottom section. Okay, so nearly 2 hours later, all of the wet sanding is done. Over there, over here, over there, and over here. And then I also went around and sanded all the spots that I had put the wood filler in. I need to put more in that spot. And then I went around and sanded the wood and added wood filler to the places that I had not, all the way down. Okay, I started 3 hours ago working on the basement. This is painted, and the two sides of it are painted, like, you know, why am I having trouble explaining the sides? The side, yoop, the side, yoop, the side. So when I finished painting, I think, right here, yes, it's wet right here. And then I finished painting these two walls as well. This one and this one. Still have all of that to go. Sorry, that was something on the floor, but I'm gonna run out of paint. I only have half a thing of paint left. So I officially ran out of paint. We got this centerpiece done all the way over there, filming wall, and then with another can of paint. Well, it took 2 cans total, but this wall all the way down to where you can see right there the difference. So now, with my remaining less than 20 minutes before I have to go home, I'm gonna sand the stuff up here so that next weekend I can paint it. And here's my blisters from a hard day's work. I know my hair looks crazy, but I'm painting the basement, so I'm not obviously gonna fix it just to get paint all in and have to wash it anyway. But this is what bedhead with bangs looks like. Oof. It's actually really bright down here at this time of day because of the windows. Oh, and this light managed to come on by itself for once. That's so nice. So I'll show you guys some of the work that was done by Ben on the floor and the bar. And then I'm going to show you where I left off painting and where we're going to get started today. So here is the patchwork that was done where the bar used to be, because we have to get it level with the floor. That area is going to need some more, but he ran out, I believe, or had to stop for the day or whatever. We bought more, so that we're going to put like a piece of wood in because it's obviously just so big. But yeah, he also got some of the around the edges done. He said that's not going to be so bad because we're going to have like trim and quarter round and stuff, so it's not going to be as obvious. But yeah, there's a lot of floor to do. So that'll be his task this week. He decided to spend this weekend having a nice chill Jessica and Ben time, which was nice because I knew I'd be here today to get all the work done. And he'll be here, of course, after work during the week. So I'm not, so I have to do it all on the weekends. Here's what the bar is looking like. Might need some wood filler for spots like here where it's open, maybe down there. We did buy more wood filler too. Oh my god, almost knocked something over. There's an obvious gap here. Honestly, I'm just gonna kind of say F it and just paint it. Trim around the bottom, we'll cover that, so no big deal. As for painting, I have painted that wall, that wall, that wall, and the center. As you can see, there's a switch in color a bit. All of that has to get painted. This little water closet thing has to get painted. That has to get painted, and all the way to there where you can see there's a clear difference. We still obviously need to cap this, and then I have to paint that. We have the piece upstairs. It was actually this piece, which is what Ben used to put these corners on, which is perfect because it was the exact same size, and I just walked into a spider web. That's so fun, so cute, so fresh. And then it's just extra drywall, and of course it's a mess through here, but once the walls are done, once this is painted black, which is also not technically black, it's called caviar, it's like a gray black. I'm gonna paint all that today because all of that was finished last weekend, all like the wood filler. So that'll get painted today. So once that's done, once the walls are done, this has to get done too. All that has to get ripped up. Ben's laundry pile. He hates doing laundry. And then this is still the paneling from before. We didn't feel like having to drywall this crazy shape stuff. It's really not a big deal. It's like just a little transition hallway. I have to like fill all these gaps. I have to wash the walls. I have to fill little holes. Gotta fix stuff like this. Like this is paneling, and they put like some sort of spackle or silicone or something here to fix spots. I don't really know what psychologically they were thinking when they did this basement with all the paneling and stuff. Man, it just will not stay focused. There we go. So yeah, that's what I get to do sometime in the future. It's not happening today. You'll have to forgive my hair. It's only gotten crazier. I took a break to eat lunch and I just came back. I have painted everything. All of the corners are painted. Everything's done. All the paint. Everything's painted. Ta-da! So what's left to paint now is this up here. I also, God, my throat hurts still. Probably from being down here. I also had to fill in some spaces still, things I had missed or were not available. Like, you know, this obviously wasn't a thing last time I was here. So had to fill all those. They'll have to get sanded before they can get painted. Oh, I just found a spot that I missed. Just kidding. Back to painting. This is taking a long time because it's gonna need 2 coats because like the wood is soaking it up. And then I have a lot of like nooks and crannies to get into. So there's like this outer lip, and then you have to get in there, and then it's down here, and then it's over there, and there's another lip on that side, and then this entire column is, you know, lip and groove. All the way up here there's a ton of that. Over here there's a ton of that. This is the progress. Let me show you like a view from the farthest point in the basement. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. I gotta stop, but this is my progress. We've got 2 coats of paint up top here. If you notice that like there's bits and pieces I didn't get, it's because the ceiling's actually gonna start like right there. I've painted above what's actually gonna be visible, but anyways, 2 coats on the pole, 2 coats over here, 2 coats up there, 2 coats everywhere. With the exception of, I still have not been able to do that side. Started over here and forgot I had to sand that, so whoopsie daisy. But yeah, that has 2 coats. This has 2 coats over here as well. So yeah, I had hoped to get this finished today. That did not happen. That is okay. Should take me another like maybe an hour and a half to do all of that, all of this, all of that, and then just this side here. But yeah, that's the end. I painted from here all the way to there, and then I had to go in and do all the corners twice. Hello everyone, I'm freshly awake and I don't want to be, and I'm back to doing the reptile basement because Ben's dogs did not let us sleep very long last night. I would say the longest stretch we got was 2.5 hours. The shortest stretch was 3 minutes. today I have to paint all of the stuff that you see unpainted up here, all the way across to there, and all the way down to there. Okay, here's where I'm leaving off. I need breakfast, so I did that. There's 2 coats on this one. There's 1 coat, I think, on this one. There's 2 coats on this one. I have to touch up the edges a little bit. There's 1 coat, I think, on this one. And there's, what else did I do? Oh, I think I did a 2nd coat on something over here. I don't know. I'm delirious, lack of sleep, and I need to eat. I've eaten, now I'm gonna get back to it. And when I sit here, let me show you my angle. You see how much more there is left to paint, really? Like, how many gaps there are to fill. I'm tired, y'all. It's been over a year and a half of home renovating. It's getting old. I'm getting old, okay? I've reached a point where it's like, I used to be real excited and gung-ho about it. Now I'm just like, every single breath I take is home renovations. Like, what's still to be done? What's to be purchased? Actually doing the work. And it's just, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to retire from home renovations. But alas, there is much more left to do. Okay, so dilemma. We have this one piece of drop ceiling frame that we could not get out, and I was like, we'll just reuse it, right? Here's the problem. Ben was like, why don't we just take this piece off? Or, you know, he said we'd have to take that piece off to get it off, right? Well, I was like, just leave it, whatever. So I started painting it. What is this? Why is there a gap here? What happened? So I might just have him take this whole thing all the way down to where it connects to the other one and just replace it. And then that'll be able to take that drop ceiling piece off, and then I can properly paint this. But like, all that is not going to be visible anyway, because that's where the drop ceiling starts. But that's my dilemma.
This is quarter round.
Okay. This is breaking off in pieces?
Yeah.
Amazing. That's a big chunk.
It's just breaking off where the nails are.
Oh, is it?
Don't want it to go past there.
It probably won't.
I don't think it will.
Is that where it ends?
No.
Oh, interesting. There you go. Here. Just pull it down here. Oh, there's one nail, that's why.
Yeah. Trying to get that paint on my hands. Come on.
You want me to get it? I don't mind. I have paint on my hands.
There we go.
Oh, well, you put it in the trash. Good job. The last piece of ceiling. You have such a look of disgust at it.
Just tired of that old garbage.
So now we have to get a quarter round or something that's like this little like trim piece. Run it all the way down there and then paint that. But we don't have that, so I'm done for today, I think.
Yeah.
And then we also have to get a piece here. And I have to buy more antique white so that I can do this entire hallway, which is certainly going to take at least one if you look all the way up. So, yeah. And this nasty friggin' carpet.
Hey, don't look at that. You don't know.
That has to go. That has to go.
You don't like this? It's vintage.
It's vintage? Is that what we're calling everything gross and old now?
Yes.
So after Ben finished sanding, we had to really thoroughly clean these floors. We vacuumed them, we moved all the debris off of them, we mopped them multiple times. We wanted to prepare them as much as possible for flooring. And then I asked y'all which one we should get, and it was a 50-50 split, which did not help me. We out here in a U-Haul, right, Ben?
That's right. Saving $100.
Not even. It came out to what, 60?
Yeah.
Well, it was 112 to have delivered. So.
Saving not even $60.
Yeah, it's.
Because I'm stubborn.
I'm paying for it, so. Oh. Okay. Are you ready for this? To go pick up floors?
That's right. Stoked.
And a door.
Yeah.
And trim.
All three.
I'm tired.
Me too.
So then we picked up the floors and we picked up a door and we picked up some trim and then we had to rent a truck to get it all, as you saw. And then I started to fill the holes in the walls in the basement hallway, which were tremendous. I mean, they were plentiful. There was so many of them. I used an entire thing of spackle and I'm not even close to finished yet. Now I'm sure some of these dents were our making, like when we were bringing the drywall downstairs or the flooring downstairs. But this many, it looks like someone let loose the Wolverine in here. So as I fill them up and they dry, then I will get to sanding these walls, probably with Ben's help because my nose and lungs cannot tolerate any more dust. And then we'll get to painting them and they'll get painted antique white just like the house and the rest of the basement. And by we'll get to painting them, I mean I'll get to painting them because I painted the whole house. Ben, what are we doing today?
We're going to put these floors down.
We're going to put these floors down.
Yep.
Those floors, actually. You ready to get it?
Yep. Let's go.
Let's get it. Installing the floors was one of the most stressful things we did in the house, and I think it's honestly just because we've been doing this for over a year and a half, and we are beat. It's like most weekends we're doing some sort of work on the house, and we're just tired. You know, it's a lot of work. And this is kind of like one of the last big things to get done in the basement other than the HVAC, which someone else is doing, and the ceiling, which we're not sure if we're going to do yet, if we're going to hire out. But this was like, okay, our last big project, and also very much needed for getting the HELOC. So it's just been a whole headache, and the stress really, it got to us these days. But in the beginning, when we're just like unrolling it and stuff, I was feeling playful, you know. I discovered there was a roll inside, which makes sense, obviously, but I was like, ooh, a weapon.
The weapon of mass destruction.
Knock me out.
It's true, you cannot trust me with anything lightsaber or staff-shaped. And then we had laid the floor out and got to cutting some of the corners. There is a spider down here eating another spider. Yeah. As you can hear by Ben's exasperated, yeah, he was pretty much over it from the start. I felt pretty bad for him. I was handling it okay for hours, and then it like set in. If you want to test yourself as a person, install vinyl roll flooring. This spider has traversed the entire basement in like 20 minutes. Run, little dude. Show everyone how much of a track star you are. Come on. Ben, this is our last cut, right?
Yeah. That's right.
High five. I mean, low five. Sorta. Nah. What you think?
Pretty close to done. Just gotta do some seams and
Fix some mess ups.
fix a couple goofs, and then we gotta put all the trim in quarter around
There's
the house.
there's a goof. That's actually not our goof, to be fair.
What?
That bit up there.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at me.
You're not. Well, you are a goof, but that is not our mistake.
Nope, that's just how the pattern worked out
Yeah.
where they cut it. So,
Yeah. And they did not cut it straight on that one, so I'm assuming this one probably also wasn't cut straight. And yeah. I ordered extra, but not enough extra to make up for other people's mistakes. So, and then over here, yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to fix that. Plus, the stairs themselves needs a lot of TLC. So,
yeah, that's okay. There's some transition strips. I gotta put some doors in.
yeah, I've got one door over there, one door over there. Oh, one door over there.
But it's got a floor now, almost. It's all laid down now, which looks nice. This looks nicer than I thought it was going to, I think. So.
Looks nicer than you thought it would?
Yeah, I think the flooring's a little bit nicer quality than I thought from just like the sample we got. Yeah. It's pretty good, and it'll be fine for what we're using it for, so.
Here's our extra. Hopefully it's enough for the porch. Might be just a little shy. Yeah. We have other pieces though, so maybe we can make up for it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And we have not glued it down yet.
No.
So these seams are still needed to be cut and glued. And then we also have to do these ones here that we had to cut to get to around the pole, around that one. And then this pole we're going to build a box around so that it matches that one. Are we hand hugging?
Yeah.
Look at all my wounds. This one I showed on camera earlier and then I just cut it again. And Ben laughed because I made a very funny noise and funny face.
Yeah, really funny face. I'm sorry, but it was really funny.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know what? It's really funny.
Huh.
Getting this thick, heavy underneath of your cuticle.
Yeah.
Where you're already bleeding.
It's real bad.
And then you get a double whammy of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it burns. Do you see that like yellowy color between my knuckles? That's bruising from when I got my hand smashed against the wall by the vinyl roll last weekend. So like I said, at the time of recording the intro, the floor wasn't done, and that's because cutting the seams is really stressful. So we've only cut one seam, and we haven't laid them yet. We will get to it, though, but just with time. So instead of working on the floor, I worked on the walls. I had to continue spackling holes, and then I had to clean everything, including, like, wiping things down with a towel. Things had to be sanded, and I also had to use a broom to, like, reach the taller sections above the stairs that obviously I can't reach with my hand. So I did some hand sanding of things, but Ben got his sander out for the bigger parts. I just don't have any footage of it. Okay, so the stairs look a lot less spooky now that they've been vacuumed. They're still spooky, but it is what it is. The hallway has been spackled excessively. As you can see, all the little holes kind of reflecting in the light. I mean, it's so many. And then I had to come all the way down here to where the current wall is. So this is antique white. This is, you know, prison, hospital, asylum white. That they flat white painted the entire house, which is awful. So tomorrow this antique white is going to go on all these walls, all the way, you know, up there. I'll show you actually. Oh my god, I almost fell. Ah, Jesus. All the way up there, down this like little shelf area. And then all the way over to here and right here. So this was put on, this has to get painted. This piece up here has to get painted as well. We had to like close off the gaps because the drywall it's an unfinished edge. And then we have to put one on here tomorrow and then have to put one here as well. Ah, almost fell again. But unfortunately we lost daylight to use the saw. So it'll have to be for tomorrow. This gets the landlord treatment. It gets this super painted over. If you notice, I took, oh my god, focus, dude. Dude, focus. You'll notice I took the screws out, right? They're just holes. Screws are out. I now have to pry this thing off the wall. Something else annoying that we noticed. Actually, let me grab this to give you an example. Where's the open one? Okay, so outlet, wall cover, outlet, wall cover, whatever. You see the huge gap? Do you see the huge gap? Yeah, so when the electrician came, for whatever reason, they're too far back. We put the drywall on. You see what I'm saying? The only wall it works for, this one's even worse. Like, look how far set this one is. Okay, they're all like this. Every single one, with the exception of one, which was actually too far set, so much so that like my brother-in-law noticed, and he put a box in. Like, we had to buy a new box and move it forward. So yeah, this is the only one. We had to buy spacers, which are upstairs, to allow us to unscrew these and pull them forward. They're like these little plastic bits that go behind them. They have to do that for all of them except the one. All right, here's the before. Oh, oh, very steep stairs. You could see, well, if it focused, you could see all the marring of the walls. But here we are. here is the before. This corner piece still has to go on, obviously, and one down here as well. Right there, but I need to get painting, so I don't have time to wait, you know, got to go. But there it is. It's about to be a lot less ugly. After running out of paint, I have gotten, well, I guess one coat on this top strip up here. I think it'll probably need a second. I have one coat here. I don't think it's gonna need a second. And I painted this, and I painted that, and I've painted the entire staircase, with the exception of like the trim at the very top. Let me just show you. Creaky stairs. You can see where there's white still, but I ran out, so I did my best to get over there, but it is not easy because I have to stand obviously on the stairs with a pole, and the pole is great, but it's not gonna bend into like the wood that's added. So I'm gonna have to, like, I don't know, put a paintbrush on a stick. So there's that bit up there that's really frustrating, but it is painted. It looks less creepy. At the very least, I'll paint the bottom trim, and then I have the door to paint as well, but that is gonna have to wait. And then because of all the moving materials, or building materials, I mean, I had painted this white originally, and it needs to get fixed, and same with this. So, but there we go. My day's work is complete. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Just a last reminder, if you would like your name on the Reptile Room wall, check the description down below. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!